name is Barry Vaudrin, and I'm the cruise journalist. You're watching part one of a 6-part series filmed aboard the Queen Mary 2 during a transatlantic crossing. You'll also see some contrast between the Queen Mary 2 and the original Queen Mary. The life of a cruise journalist sounds glamorous, and for the most part it is, but the job is not without a lot of behind-the-scenes work on the computer with emails, proposals, phone calls, and lots of planning. I'm planning for the voyage of a lifetime aboard the Queen Mary 2, and my wife Terry is also my co-host and helps out with camera work. Lugless picked up our large piece of luggage at our home and delivered it directly to our hotel in New York, where we stayed one night prior to our transatlantic crossing. Boarding the Queen Mary 2 in Brooklyn was convenient and well orchestrated. There was a special VIP line and entrance for grill passengers. The original Queen Mary, as well as most of the liners, used to dock in Manhattan at Luxury Liner Row. Today, the Queen Mary 2 departs out of Brooklyn and still has spectacular views of Manhattan and the Statue of Liberty before heading out to sea under the Verrazano Bridge. I asked some of the crew on board the Queen Mary 2 what departure day was like for them.
It starts immediately, as they're only 7-day voyages. As soon as you finish one turnaround, you've started the next. So I get information sent through to me from the head office with the artists and the speakers that are going to be on for the next voyage. I will cross-reference that with the listings of proposed passenger demographic, the different nationalities that I'm getting on board.
It actually starts the night before for myself because you're preparing for the next day. We get people off very early in the morning and guests start coming on either side of midday. So you need to be prepared before that. Part of my job is looking after birthdays, anniversaries, honeymoon couples on board. So you have to make sure you've gone through the list, prepared all your birthday cards and such so you can get them to people as soon as they get on board. We also have our first cocktail party. That's within the first day, 2 days, depending on the voyage. So you need to make sure you've got all your invitations, maybe not printed out because things may change after embark, but you make sure that they're ready to go and have a look through the list, which is actually really helpful because, as I said before, we have a lot of return guests, so it gives you a chance to familiarise yourself with the names, see if there is someone perhaps you recognise who's coming on board, which is usually the case.
Departure day is only the end of what was also arrival day. So it's a very long day, and we start at 4 o'clock in the morning with the pilot and coming into the harbour and bringing the ship alongside, saying goodbye to 2,500 guests who are going home, turning the ship around, cleaning it, preparing all the cabins, embarking another 2,500 guests for the next voyage, welcoming them, bringing the ship out of the harbour and saying goodbye to the harbour at the end of the day as the pilot disembarks. And by then, that was a long day, and we're ready for a rest.
My wife and I were very happy with our Princess Grill suite during our voyage across the Atlantic. When we first entered the suite, my wife gasped at how beautifully appointed the room was, and there were a few surprises like champagne, chocolates, flowers. It was very clear to us immediately that this was going to be a very comfortable stay in this suite. Our suite on the Queen Mary 2 is comparable to a first-class suite on the original Queen Mary. However, as times have changed over the years with decor and fitting materials, Queen Mary was built with exquisite and exotic wood veneers and heavy wooden furniture, which would not pass fire codes on ships today. The luxury of a private veranda was also not found on board the original Queen Mary, where passengers made do with a porthole, many of which could be opened for fresh sea air. I've traveled all over the world, and the last thing you want to do on your vacation is to get sick. So what I do is I use supplements and multivitamins, and I've found this company. They're called Nature Made, and they have a great range of supplements and vitamins that will help boost your immune system so you don't get sick. It can't get much better than this. I'm in the middle of the Atlantic aboard the Queen Mary 2. If you love to travel in luxury and style, I want to suggest to you that you visit Luxury Only at luxuryonly.com. There, a cruise specialist, a luxury cruise specialist, will be able to connect you with the perfect luxury cruise vacation. Luxury Only at luxuryonly.com. This was part 1 of a 6-part series featuring our transatlantic crossing on the Queen Mary 2. Watch for our next video as the voyage continues, and check out our multimedia Atlantic crossing experience at www.thecruisejournalist.com. This show is made possible by these fine companies.